I'm Mike.
And this is Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday.
The podcast.
And I'm Carl.
What up, Carl?
What's going on, Carl?
You know, not a lot.
It's good to see you.
A lot.
We're so happy that you keep showing up week after week.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
This is Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday. This is a podcast about filmmaking. We are comedy filmmakers, and we are pitching a show, and we wanted to share that experience with the world, and so we created this podcast. Also, we need to motivate ourselves as we continue going down this arduous path. We think that's the right use of the word arduous.
I'm here for the motivation.
It feels arduous. Is there a stronger adjective than arduous?
We don't
Fucked up.
Fucked up.
Yeah. So
Like
that's-
it's what's his name? Oh shit. Fucking Bruce Willis in the Glass.
John
Die Hard.
John
Willis. John Willis.
His
Crawling on his
John
hands
Willis.
and knees through the glass.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. That's a big St. Patty's
Yeah,
movie, right?
they're in a big underground facility. Yeah, I know Die Hard.
The big discussion is it a St. Patty's Day movie?
Right, right. Everyone's like, it is, it isn't. You know, like just get over it. It's a good movie. It's a really
damn it.
well written
Wow,
film.
you're actually right on time talking about.
Wow.
This is perfect.
Yeah,
Well, now.
except
Well,
not
well,
because this
is gonna come
episode
out.
drops like the 10th
Yeah.
of April.
Well, then people can reminisce on their St. Patty's Day, and then
It's a big Easter movie.
I'm
So that's
sure
what the podcast is about.
John Willis. You heard it here first.
And then there's a little something that we like to do with each other every week, and that's check in. So, Mike, you have a drink in your hand like you were about to take a drink. Why don't you tell us what you were up to this week?
Well, I was bedridden most of the week. It was great. Well, I was also working. I worked on a commercial for Optimum. Let me just tell
Cha-ching.
you guys. Let me tell you. If you want connectivity.
Are you breaking an NDA right now, by the way?
Yeah, I did sign an NDA, so I
But-
We'll
worked
bleep
on
that out.
I worked on an Optimum commercial,
Beep.
and it was. Let me tell you, it was great.
I mean, everyone that listens to this knows that we do not listen to NDAs. NDAs don't. This is like the one part of the universe where they just don't exist.
Yeah. And if anyone from Optimum is listening, please stop sending stuff to my house.
For
Please
real.
Yeah.
Stop mailing me things.
Yeah,
Like, I
just
don't-
phones,
And it's like
Just
plastic.
Phones.
It's plastic, like mail postcards, like full on plastic postcards.
Oh, this is a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling Optimum, stop sending me stuff. All right. That's the podcast. Oh, wait. Sid, how was your week?
Well, you know, the last time that we were together was Crossfaded Sid. And I realized, one thing last week is I took my assessment at the New York Public Library
I did that.
Yes, to use Studio 40 and their recording studio, and I fucking passed with flying colors. So that made me feel really good about myself, and it further expanded my love of the library.
Shout out to Jenna.
The XLR connects the what?
The thing to the thing.
Yay!
Wow, you're a
Nailed it.
regular audio engineer over
Thank
here.
you. So if anyone, I can bring guests, so just email Sid and Mike, nyc@gmail.com if you want to be a guest at the recording studio at the New York Public Library.
$175 an hour.
Whoa, Carl.
Wait, we're not allowed to charge?
You know,
That's
it's under the table money.
The first
Well,
rule of the New York Public Library: you cannot charge for the New York Public Library.
That's true.
Yeah,
you know
but-
what the second rule of the New York Public Library is?
You're gonna tell me.
You do not talk about the New York Public Library.
No, but honestly, last week was a little difficult for me, which maybe I say every week. We'll have to play these back and see how it's going.
A supercut of Sid saying, it's been a hard week.
Y'all, I think I'm coming to the realization that it is a hard life.
It's a hard knock life.
It's not the week.
for us.
It's not the week, Sid.
And-
It's you.
No, but you're.
There it is. It's not the week, it's me. And so, honestly, after this last week, and I woke up today realizing I really need to get back into creativity, but I'm working a job, a survival job. So
Jobs.
we'll see how this balances out, but I'm definitely here for the motivation today. I need it. Like
Yes.
Crossfaded Sid is out and
No more.
fully focused Sid is in.
Hey,
Love to hear it.
I'm here for
We
it.
love to hear it. Mike is feeling his A's today. Like he's out here. My week was pretty cool. Chill week at work. Still working that job that I refused to tell anyone about on the podcast. And I realized something about myself. I really enjoy running the Sid and Mike YouTube. Like,
Honestly,
I'm like getting
I
into
realized
it.
that you like it too.
I commented back to somebody today.
Me?
Was that you?
The thumbs up?
No, that wasn't. You thumbs upped me though. Maybe.
Well, you personally, because you do run the Sid and Mike YouTube channel.
Guys, if you're not watching these on YouTube, head over to YouTube. Check
What are
them
you
out.
doing with your
I mean,
life?
there's some stuff that you can't get from just listening on the video version, or check out our sketches.
Let me tell you what else. If we're sounding better this week, that's because we watched a video on YouTube and we pressed one button on the mixer.
I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, Mike's lying. We didn't watch a fucking YouTube video. We just came in here and we figured it out. No YouTube needed.
Well, come on. I'm trying to get a sponsor.
Yeah, we want to run ads.
Oh, man.
Well, that's our week, huh?
What a week. It
what a
went
week it
really
is.
fast.
It's funny because last week when we checked in, Mike and I both had written something new, and this week our topic is start writing. How do we do it? How do you do it? How do you start writing?
How do you start writing, Mike?
How do I start writing? That's a great question, Sid.
How does one start writing?
How do you-
I am a was that a yeah, I'm going to answer the question.
It's just a rhetorical question for us to think about.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that... Oh.
We just ask here. We're on the podcast where we just ask questions.
For you to think about, the listeners
do
can
it?
think
It's like when you
about
say,
it.
"How did this happen?" Like you don't
Callers,
expect someone
well,
to answer.
nobody's calling in. All right, next question. What I like to do is usually one thing about a project will get me excited, and I like to start writing with what I'm excited about. So if I have a scene that might even be in the middle of a story or a script or whatever, I'll just start with that thing that's exciting. I find that sometimes I don't necessarily like to start at the beginning of something. I'd like to get my characters talking, and I think that I learn so much about what the character's point of view is through just getting them conversating with each other, talking back and forth. And then then that scene starts to take place, and then I know how they're going to talk to each other from the beginning.
How many times do you start that way and then realize that the thing you wrote actually is the beginning of the scene? Because it reminds me of the Dave Mamet advice. I'm sure this advice comes in all forms from all different people who are not as hardcore as David Mamet, but it's just start the scene as late as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Get to cut all the big, you might write this whole intro section or something beautiful, but it's if it's not moving the thing along,
well, especially with sketch, like sometimes, you'll write a few pages, and then you'll write a sketch, and it comes in a little longer than you want it, and you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, this thing could start on page 3.
We learned that very early on to get so used to just cutting. Cut.
Because we started on IG, and there was 1-minute videos.
Even
Well, we didn't
before
start
that.
on IG, but when we started making videos, at a lot of videos.
Where did you two meet?
Shut up, Carl.
I don't think we met in an acting class.
In 2010.
This is an inside joke. It's people are like,
Well, I don't
actually,
think-
I want to know.
I don't think that we've talked about that on this podcast. So
We'll get there eventually someday.
There's going to be a whole episode
Yeah.
just about how we met.
For me, starting writing, sometimes it comes in waves. Some weeks, I'm every morning I'm doing my Artist Way morning pages. I'm my stream of consciousness, and I'm getting myself set up, and then I'm making my little bullet journal list. And then I every piece of writing that I do has a shtick. Has it came from some person who wrote a book about writing, but it all works. I mean, I can't recommend enough, just reading something. It doesn't even have to be about writing, but just if you're I don't know how to start, read something with words. If it's a book, if it's a script, read it.
read something with words.
Even helpful writing books, I would throw Bird by Bird
by Bird.
Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. I'd throw that out there. Brings me to another interesting thing. When we write together, what's what's the difference? Like, I know there's a huge difference in the process when we're off alone at our little final drafts and Scriveners and Celticses. But when we're together,
Who's using Celtics still?
Whoa! for people that aren't watching on YouTube,
Jacques
Carl
Hughes.
is pointing at me
Jacques
with
Hughes.
a bloody stone up in there. Jesus, what did you do to that finger?
I lost my finger in a fire trying
And
to
it's
film
bloody?
a podcast.
Oh my goodness!
But when we're together, how do we get going? Like, what's it like? Can we sort of try and show like a window into that?
Carl, I want to say that you've been really spearheading the writing process, and we, bring our scripts. If it's sketches, then we've been bringing them to each other, and then we talk through them, and sometimes read them, and then punch it up and jokes and what can be cut. But it's been interesting to kind of veer towards more narrative stuff, and that's a little bit different because we all really get into the story and kind of break it down. Okay, you'll take this and you'll take this, and I find that I like that.
We're going to be doing some of that real soon if we want to meet our deadline on our little
Yes,
feature project.
and I really love talking through ideas with you guys and fleshing them out. And
We also got in the habit of doing a list of 10.
yeah,
That was I don't know, was that over a year ago?
Oh, yeah, big time. Maybe 2 years ago.
That started on the
shock.
Clubhouse.
This started on Clubhouse. You'll hear us talk a little bit more about Clubhouse later. We needed a shock to our system, and we made a chore list for ourselves. And one of the chores that you could do that week to get your allowance was to write 10 ideas for sketches and turn them into the group. And we still do that. We've been doing that for 2 years, and we've got, as we like to say in our pitch meeting, we have 895 sketch ideas,
Something like that, yeah.
So
that 1 week that Sid only turned in 5 sketches.
Right, exactly, yeah. Wow. If anyone's gonna get thrown under the bus, I'm glad it was Sid. If it was me, I might have kicked this table over or something. I get real angry about missing deadlines.
and he still works with us.
I think we want to take a little break. We're going to talk about this off mic.
Look at Pete's he's got death in his eyes.
And today's episode is brought to you by YouTube U. And we are so thankful for YouTube U because they allow us to post all of our videos and all the behind the scenes. YouTube U is filming you when you don't even know it. So it captures everything all the time.
That's right. You heard it here. YouTube U uses your phone's cameras, front and rear facing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And the microphone.
And the
Sorry,
microphones.
they get audio too.
So you don't miss a beat.
Oh, wow. That's a succinct commercial. Are you guys done, or should you tell me more?
Well, Carl, if you haven't experienced YouTube U, then you need to log in today. Oh, wait, you don't have to because it already has all of your information.
You are
It's
logged in.
So convenient.
Have you ever watched the YouTube video?
Yeah.
Well, then you're logged in.
You're
Whoa.
logged in, baby.
YouTube U as in YouTube me?
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Not YouTube U as in YouTube University.
Never heard of it.
Okay. All right. Well, I went to YouTube University.
Yeah, they know.
The Fighting Incels.
The brick and mortar?
Yeah.
Someone got you.
We almost won the
Fucking incels.
quadruple A championship
yeah, and
basketball.
because you went there, you're already enrolled in the system. YouTube U is a subsidiary of YouTube U.
This is amazing. Well, I'm definitely going to use it. Is there a promo code or a place that I should go to get a discount?
The promo code is YouMeMeYou 2023.
YouMeMeYou 2023.
Yep.
That's right.
And we are back. Welcome back.
Woo!
Guys, it's great to be doing this with you. It's a fun time. But I think we should bring our guest in.
I love that.
No?
I love that
I'm
for us.
getting a big no from Mike.
No, I love that for us. I love that for you. I love that for Sid. And I love that for our guest.
He's
Somebody
ready
mentioned
to.
a hot meal.
He seems to be shaking.
You promised me that there'd be a hot meal.
Oh,
if I
we
agreed
give
to
you the
come
gift.
in.
You get the gift bag
He looks-
afterwards.
he
Is there
looks
food in the
cold.
bag?
You can heat it up.
Please, I'm very deficient in iron.
Do you want the toe warmers off my feet?
Off your feet, yes.
They're the only ones I have, but I can take the stickers off.
I
and
mean,
hand
they
them
look
over.
edible.
I gave him the toe warmers off my feet. It's the new. I gave him the shirt off my back.
Well, it's cold out here, folks.
Hey, economy being what it is, I'm not picky.
He's a writer and an emphatic native New Yorker. In fact, he made me include here that he used to play with rats at CBGB as a kid. R.I.P. CBGB KDWYD. Last year, he made a short play called Film.
Made a short
last year he
film
made
that
a
we don't have to
short
talk about.
film called Play, and he's taking it out to festivals as we speak. But now he's telling me not to talk about it, even though he wrote this intro. So
Well, I wrote it months ago. I wrote it months ago during.
But you were the one who gave us the idea to do the podcast. You wrote the intro, and you said you could do a podcast and intro me like this.
This is
Okay,
true.
well, something else is I can say firsthand that Alex Hacker is an amazing writer, and he came up with one of the sketches that is not we don't know if it's out in public yet.
Talking about Chronica.
Oh shit! Even before. Oh my god, you're amazing. You can see Chronica online.
Prolific Sid and Mike writer. We'll
And
drop a link for Chronica.
There's
in the
no
show notes.
better time
One of
to
our
watch
favorite
a
holiday
Hanukkah,
sketches.
a holiday sketch than in April. Like you should really. It's like we're halfway through quarter way through the year. We're missing the holidays. Just
Well, Chronica is for 420.
It's true.
The whole point of the bit is that it's the 8 days leading up to 420.
don't spoil it.
You've heard of.
sorry.
You've heard of.
I'm sorry that I'm spoiling how the Hanukkah myth
Let's
breaks
go through
down.
each joke in Chronica one by one.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah. You've heard of Christmas in July. Well, it's Hanukkah in April. Check
There
the
it
show
is.
notes. We've got a sketch for you written by Alexander Hacker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Thank you for
being
being
here.
here.
I think
course.
you're so funny.
Oh, thank you. Watch me be deeply unfunny on this podcast.
We can't wait.
It's fine. Well, this is the subject is writing, so it's fine if you're deeply unfunny.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we can get sad on here. We get sad and emotional on here all the time.
Sure.
You know, I have to do a little follow up from earlier because I never spoke about how I write and how I get started writing.
Please. Let me judge you.
And
Are you telling me that I shut you down?
it's okay.
I am
Um,
so sorry.
it's no, it's all good.
Stop girl interrupting.
But yes, this podcast is for filmmakers and is for writers, but it goes beyond that because I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, I don't have a story to tell, or I'm not a real writer, or you might not even want to like write a script. But just writing in general, writing down your ideas, vocalizing them, like putting them in the notepad of your section, whether it's like something you heard on the street or some like crazy idea, just getting those things down. And like you were saying, morning pages, stuff like that, all that is really helpful just for life. So if you feel like, oh, I can't get started even with that, I think some of this stuff, like Alex, you're so good at just writing. So I'm so excited that you're here to tell everyone. Don't start shaking.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna
let's-
be okay. You're
I'm
gonna
not
be okay.
shaking anything.
Let's see if he's good at talking.
I'm just anemic, so I'm always vibrating at a certain low frequency.
Okay, we're gonna get you some iron by the end of this episode.
Don't
Carl's
tease
cooking
me,
you a
Sid.
steak right now.
Yeah.
Again, hot meal. This is
Hot
gonna work
meal.
out.
That used to be
guys.
my nickname when I was a trucker.
I've got a question for Alice. So
Sure.
when is the first time that you wrote something that you were like, oh, that's cool that I can do that? How old were you? Like, what was it?
I like that.
5 or 6.
Wow.
6. I wrote a poem for class, and all of my teachers were like, so moving. Like they were like really moved. It was like, one of those bullshit haikus you write when you're in first grade.
Oh,
It was about my mom's hand and how I
Can we get
you
that?
recite
Can
that
you
for us?
can you text your mom right now? Can we get that?
she probably has it, but
let's get that
she already
haiku.
got her one phone call of the day.
We'll put the haiku in the show notes once he
we
sends it over to us.
absolutely are
Yeah.
going to get that.
But I wrote this poem, and my teachers were very moved. And then throughout middle and high school, I would write stories and little plays. And my parents were always being told in these meetings, like, he's a really good writer. And actually, in preschool, I would do a lot of like little bits, and they thought I'd be an actor. And they told my parents, we think he's going to be an actor. And this is true. My mom said, well, can he act like a doctor? And my dad said, great. We'll pull him out of school now and teach him how to balance a tray. So, nothing is not supportive.
oh,
They are very sweet.
Shout out to all the actors.
I get my humor from them.
shout out to all the actors' parents.
Shout out to all the
Balancing
actors'
trays.
parents and for, just gritting your teeth.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you referred to yourself as a writer, like,
God.
and meant it? And like, we're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm a writer.
I'll call you when it happens.
No.
Guess
I
what?
don't know.
It's gonna happen tonight, my
It's
friend.
gonna
I don't-
happen tonight.
It's
if
not.
it hasn't happened
It's
yet.
not like one moment. It's just a thing that like kind of kept coming up, and a thing that I enjoyed and was good at, and I was validated for being good at it. And so, over time, I probably, if I'm being realistic, it was probably my first year of college, because I applied for all these writing workshops, and you had to submit a story to get in, and I submitted the story that I wrote that was loosely based off a something that happened to my buddies and I in the woods in high school. And I didn't hear back, and I kind of went up to the teacher during one of those like orientation days, and I asked her like, "Hey, am I getting?" And she's like, "Actually, yeah." She goes, "I'm trying to build the class around your story because I want to find writers that compliment you and you them." And it was just like, "Wow, holy shit! Okay, that's I think you're lying to me, but that's very sweet." And so ever since then, I was like, "I guess this is my thing." And I followed it. I was in college, so I was like, I'm fucking Hemingway, man. And I was just drinking whiskey neat and writing,
wrong
shitty
with
Tom Waits songs on bar napkins.
I
I'm
feel
a
like you're
fucking
still
real
drinking
writer.
whiskey neat.
Come on, I'm trying to get employed.
It's drinking vodka neat now.
Vodka neat now. Well, it's neat now.
I wouldn't call that neat with a lime.
So
Well, look, I don't want to get
If
scurvy.
for the listeners at home, he's holding a glass with a lime and a clear liquid in it that we're saying it's
I
vodka.
think that I obviously Crossfaded Sid last week inspired the movement. So you guys enjoy your drinks.
Yeah, prohibition is over. You guys,
And it's a Monday, which is like historically the best time to start drinking.
I
it's
agree.
Motivation Monday.
Yeah, Motivation Monday.
So something that I know that you're really good at is that you just can sit down and you can like pump out a script faster than I have ever seen anyone do in my life. How do you do it?
Well, I'm very sick. I'm half kidding. If I don't write for more than a week, I get like depressed and anxious and like itchy. So if I go a few days without writing anything, I like put a gun in my mouth. So
You didn't get
it's
a
funny
laugh. You didn't get a laugh on that one.
I
'Cause
d-
we're all just like, yeah, I know the feeling.
because you all have to hide your guns. I understand. But no, if I don't do it, I get really anxious and weird and sad. So I find an excuse every day to write. So it's just you just got to follow it to its logical extreme. Every day I have a writing goal every day, and it's different for everybody. But I have a certain number, and every day I have to hit it. And there are days when I don't. I'm being honest. There are days when I just fuck off and play video games and fall down some rabbit hole on Netflix or whatever.
Which one?
Rabbit Hole?
Mm-hmm.
The New York Times podcast Rabbit Hole
Yeah, on Netflix.
on Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Great.
they got fingers in every pie now.
What's podcasting?
Podcasting is when you get a bunch of people together who love the sound of their own voice, and you just let them go. And historically, it works out pretty well for them.
You were
So-
saying you allow yourself. I'm going to put it this way. You
Sure.
allow yourself to take breaks from your rigorous regimen of writing.
Well, I don't know about that. If I feel like a failure if I don't do it, I'm
Right.
really hard on myself, and that's not something that I think is terribly healthy.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable, but it is a thing of like every now and then you go, all right. Like this weekend, daylight savings time happened. I left my friend's house at 1:45 and got home at 3. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And all of yesterday, I was kind of like out of it. And
Same.
I slept in too late, and I was like, okay, shit's not getting done today. So, there are days, of course, where like there's a reason, or you tell yourself there's a reason. But if I miss those days, if I don't write something, I get really down on myself.
So what's your process like? Are you somebody that starts with an outline, or do you like to start?
I don't outline.
Okay.
A thing about myself that I don't really. I feel like I'm very negative. I
That's okay. By the end of this episode, we are gonna turn that around.
Yeah.
Yes. So no,
came to the right place.
not negative, but I don't outline because once I know beat for beat what happens, I lose interest. Because the fun of writing for me is discovery and exploration,
Ooh.
and the high that I chase is that thing of like, I'm not writing when I'm writing. I'm writing when I'm waiting for the bus, or I'm in the shower, or like, those little in-between moments of your day. That's when you're really writing. When you sit down to write, it's just dictation. You're just writing down what you've already, or at least for me, I've already kind of figured out and pieced together. But I live for that moment of like, that's how they fucking get there, or like, that's how they know who the killer is. And then that kind of fuels the next thing. But at the minute, I have so many screenplays that are on page 72 or 80 that I just haven't finished. It's like, well, yeah, I know where it's going. I can write that any time. There's no urgency anymore. You
Holy
lose
Yeah, me
that.
too.
shit.
Totally.
Yeah,
Same.
yeah,
I feel like we all have
absolutely.
that
Yeah,
problem,
no
don't we?
problem.
Yeah.
That's how
Page
I work.
72. Let me
Outline?
tell
Who
you.
needs an outline?
Well,
like,
speaking of not outlining, you want to take a swipe at Save the Cat? You know, like just take a swing at that book that everyone tells everyone to write. I'm going to give a little backstory. We used to do this Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday on Clubhouse. That was the genesis of the idea for the show. And Alex was in one of our rooms. If you don't know what Clubhouse is, look it up.
It's Discord for people who have had sex exactly twice.
it doesn't exist anymore.
And they want to talk
Like,
about it.
the app keeps.
They want to
updating
find
on
other
my-
people.
The app keeps updating on my phone, so that they clearly have photos of people. Anyway,
Should we submit a picture of us?
Yeah, we
black
should.
and white.
They loved us on that app. They were always making sure that we did well.
Yeah.
So Alex, I was talking about Save the Cat in our room, talking to a writer who was trying to get started, and I mentioned it as a book to kind of go into to like learn the basics of like what structure it is what I would have said at the time. I think I don't say it that way anymore, but you kind of took an alternate approach. So I feel like we could take some time and shit on Save the Cat a little bit if you want.
I think Save the Cat is very good for baby's first screenplay. I think I'm serious. Like that's not I'm not being shitty. I think it's like, look, if you really don't know where to start and you like really don't know what a screenplay is, then yeah, absolutely. The problem is that it's colored by numbers in a way that you depend on it, and a lot of people don't move beyond it. You know, it's like, hey, page 15, this has to happen. By page 30, this has to happen, and it's the Man with a Thousand Faces. You know, I mean, this is not new, but it makes every movie the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work in development, and I would always know when someone read Save the Cat, because exactly on the dot, page 15, like a fucking train. This is the inciting incident, and it's just so boring. It flattens every experience. So I think it's good for, again, like, hey, I'm going to try writing one of those screenplay things. It has its utility, but you do it once, then you move the fuck on. You find your own rhythm, you find your own voice, and you try to figure it out as a writer and not as someone who is like following a script.
And finding your voice, I guess, which is, it's been hard for me, and you have to have confidence. Like, you have to keep doing the thing to build the muscle, to become familiar with your own style and what works for you and what keeps it going. And so it's nice to hear just such a different approach than people talk about, because you're a really fucking good writer.
Thank you.
You're a very good writer.
And you're so creative. Like,
and you've got good things happen.
Knock on wood.
No, they will.
He's
like,
knocking on wood.
honestly, people will be lining up.
So we know you don't
especially
start.
after this episode drops. You know it that good.
Yeah, in
Phone's
5
gonna-
weeks when this airs,
Boom.
I'll be
phone's gonna
too
be
good for any
ringing.
of this.
So we know you don't start with an outline. So like, where do you like to start? Or is it different on every project?
It depends. It's all different. I wish that there was like one thing that I could just do over and over again, because I'd have a lot more done if I did. But the reality is that sometimes it's like a song. I hear a new song and I run it into the fucking ground. If I hear a new song that I like, that's the song for the month. And that's just a song that I'll play over and over again wherever I'm going, anywhere.
What song is it this month?
It is Stand on the World.
By
The Joubert Singers? The Joubert Singers?
he just said Jew Bear.
Wow, dude.
Isn't that with
Cocaine
Bear
Bear.
Jew? You're thinking of Inglorious
That's
Bastards.
cocaine. No, that's cocaine. That's the cocaine.
Yeah,
Bear's
how would
buddy.
you pronounce this?
Joubert.
Joubert. And I'm
just trying
Joubert.
not to say Joubert.
Jowbird.
He's showing us his phone.
But yeah, Stand on the World. And that's a song.
Look, people, if you're listening to this, just get on YouTube and watch.
As we
it.
It's
all
okay.
know.
We're
Still
gonna
gonna
put the
narrate.
song in the show notes for you.
Podcasting is an inherently
You can't
visual
stop me.
medium.
Oh,
But
yeah?
So I pick a it's a song. I mean, like Carl, you said reading. Reading is one of the best things to do. Whenever I'm stuck, it's always one of those things. It's sort of like when you're told, like, hey, if you work out, you'll be happier. It's like, fuck off. And then you do it, you're like, son of a bitch. I do feel better and like more creative and fulfilled. Like, I hate that someone else is right. But reading. All great novelists read books. If you're a screenwriter, read screenplays and books.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a painter, you go to museums. If you're a singer, you go to shows. Like, it's part of it. You have to open yourself up to new ideas and perspectives. And, you know, whenever I'm stuck, I read a book or a song comes on and there's a scene in my head. Oh my God, if this song played during this scene, that'd be so cool. And then I work backwards from that scene. Okay, well, why are they getting a divorce? You know, whatever. And that's sometimes how it starts. Or I just start something. I'm really good at starting screenplays.
Roughly how many scripts do you think you've written?
Completed?
No, I don't know. Just working.
Working?
In the final. What you would write in final draft?
Yeah.
So like, just in final, if you open up, how many little babies you got?
It's in the low 80s.
Jeez.
I've completed 22 features and
Holy
5 pilots.
fuck.
Wow.
What is
Of those features, I stand behind 4 of them.
But what's the difference for you between writing a feature, writing sketch,
I'll buy the rest of them
writing a pilot?
$300.
They're
We're
worth
gonna-
at least half that much.
We're gonna invest now because we know you're gonna be
all
the
that
money one day.
YouTube
Okay,
view money came in.
so that
I wanted
that
to
YouTube
say-
view money came in. YouTube view is recording all this right now. By the way, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's so
why did
good.
we bother setting this equipment up if they're just recording everything for us?
They sponsored this.
I just wanted to piggyback something that he said. Shout out Clubhouse. I just wanted to piggyback a little bit. He mentioned reading scripts, and for anybody that's starting out writing, a great resource is IMSDB, which is the Internet Movie Script Database. It's like IMDb but for scripts, and you can go on there and you can
Show notes.
There's also
we'll put it in the show notes. But you can go on there and you can you can just download scripts.
There's also a guy outside the Apple Store in Soho who sells like bootleg Seinfeld scripts.
Yeah.
Support
Good to
local
know.
businesses.
Good to know.
New
But
Yorkers.
I was asking you if you write a feature or you're working on sketch, which you've done for us, and then
pilots.
you're working on pilots. Like, what is the difference for that for you? And is the process different? Like, where?
Yeah.
And do you prefer one over the other?
Oh.
Working with us, obviously.
I mean, you guys are the best.
Thank you.
Well,
You guys actually
yeah,
pay
no.
our time.
Thank you.
An extra 10 minutes on the podcast.
Yeah. No, the pilots are easier only because, and I started writing them because I was lazy. That's
Hey,
no
pilot.
that's the truth because
Hear
like
that, Mike? Hear
because
that?
I until 2021 I'd only ever written features. And features are a lot of work. You got to resolve everything by the end. You got to throw up every plate in the air in Act 1 and by the third act catch them all, or the ones that you give a shit about. And that's a lot of work. It's hard. It's hard to write a
I just
movie.
added an image of me standing in a room full of broken plates.
That's a sketch. I was trying to write a screenplay.
Knock my headphones complete off.
It was so funny. Mike went deaf.
There's the ableism that we were missing.
Yeah, but I wrote,
Anything, guys? I can't hear anything. Sorry.
no, it's your show.
Clearly.
Mike, interrupt him again. Mike
Moo.
can't. Mike can't. Hear.
I'm still waiting for that hot meal.
Mike can't hear, so he doesn't.
Moo.
He doesn't know. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's your
No,
show.
No,
You're you have stickers with your name on them, Sid
doesn't.
and Mike.
they're expired.
I still have the fucking pins. I don't know what you're
That
talking
sticky
about.
stuff still works.
Yeah, adhesive never goes out of style.
We got merch. If you see us in public, come up to us. We probably got a sticker or
It's
a
that
pin.
famous line from The Graduate. I got one word for you, Benjamin. Merch.
Plastics.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember what you were talking about?
Yeah, I do. So in a feature, you have to set everything up and resolve it within 90 to 120 pages. With a pilot, you can go, oh, fuck it, you figure it out, and you walk away after 30 to 60. So
That's Lost. You just described all 7 seasons of Lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not want lost money? Do you
no,
not?
I do.
Do you
I
not?
want Lost money.
Let's try to make the smoke monster noise.
Do you see Terry O'Quinn working anymore? No, because he doesn't have to.
He was my hero.
He has
at the
lost
time.
money, dude. He's in Heaven's Gate. I just rewatched Heaven's Gate because I hate myself a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, that's Terry O'Quinn. He's as old as I am now, and he looks terrible.
So
You heard it here first.
I'm coming for you, Terry.
Listen, Terry.
I love you.
The views of Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday are not reflected.
Terry,
in the
I love
guests'
you, but you've been
answers to the
40
questions.
for 50 years.
Terry
Are you
O'Quinn-
eyeballing the camera?
I'm eyeballing. I know you're out there, Terry. You sexy, sexy man. Met his wife on Heaven's Gate. His ex-wife now.
Oh my
It's
God,
been
I'm
long enough. But
crying.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm crying.
Man.
I mean, it's Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday said I'm trying to bring the
he
heat.
died. He
I-
died defusing a bomb in the X-Files movie.
That's true. That's
Opening
true.
scene.
Wait, he died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super
That
sad.
character is no longer with us.
I love how that's your question and not there's an X-Files movie.
we were all excited about it, and then we saw it.
Yeah.
As I remember, I don't even
The
know.
film is out there.
I think that goes to show you
do
they
you-
did not catch all the plates.
But yes.
Do you write sketch other than for Sid and Mike?
No.
I love it.
I'm only a whore for you.
Speaking of
Thank
things that you might want to write in the future, I saw somewhere that you said you'd like to write for a series like The Leftovers or The Americans. Do you just like shows that have "the" in the title?
I like shows. Yeah.
Would you?
I
So
do.
you would work for us if we were the Sid and Mike.
It's
I like
or
sh-
the.
I like shows that
Sorry,
run
the
for at
Sid
least
Mike.
3 seasons.
So what about could we maybe pitch The Lost? Like what would
The
you
Lost.
do? Like what would you do with The Lost? Because when you add the, it usually makes things a little darker.
Okay.
And more
The
gritty.
Lost.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Saigon, 1973. American GIs are being shipped home and by the truckload for a war fought on a lie. You okay, Sid? Terry O'Quinn is the leader of a regiment known only as the Lost because they just can't be found. It's Saving Private Ryan, but more so.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
Yeah, we can't get clearance for Fortunate Son. We can only get Buffalo Springfield, but like the B-sides.
Something happened over there.
What it is ain't exactly clear because we can't find him in the jungle. The Lost.
Oh man.
It's like Lost meets an Oliver Stone movie that doesn't suck ass.
Wow. Well, that's cool that we just did a real pitch. We have a game in the show where we do fake pitches
Oh,
later.
I'm
so-
sorry.
No, this is good. We can.
No,
I mean,
that was yours.
I don't mean to jump the
no,
guns.
no, that was just for fun.
That's Disney money too. You know, I'm
Disney
pretty sure ABC still owns that. So.
I know that Disney's really itching to get into Vietnam War movies
Yeah.
because it's ripe.
Yeah.
You know what? The Vietnam War movies, if they'll come back around.
The only just war.
They're gonna have their time again.
Let's go through. Let's go through and name the friends and which Vietnam War movie they are. Okay. So like I'm thinking that Chandler is Full Metal Jacket. Okay.
Oh, see, I'm not familiar enough. With
Okay.
Vietnam
With
War
friends,
movies.
All right,
Ross-
so Ross lives with his friend
Yoey.
Joey. Wait, no.
No.
Chandler and
Monica-
Yoey live together.
Phoebe,
Courtney Cox is from Birmingham, Alabama.
Lisa Kudrow,
She's
Jennifer Aniston.
I feel like Jennifer Aniston is very much like Born on the 4th of July, you know.
Actually, the movie that he just pitched also stars Jennifer Aniston, so it's just a full circle moment.
As the Rachel in The Lost.
As the Rachel in The Lost.
It's just the haircut.
Joey
just
is
a wig.
Forrest Gump. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Forrest Gump feels like a Vietnam War movie, even though it probably only is.
Chandler's
20
the
minutes.
Michael J. Fox one. Which one was that?
Platoon.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Shaking Private Ryan.
Going Home in a Body Bag. Anybody know that reference?
Sorry.
That's True Romance.
No, I've seen True Romance. James Gandolfini famously as the heavy breather.
Yeah.
Just do it for us.
I said some pulp.
What is that? Gabagool?
I fucking love you.
He gets spoiler
Love you,
warning for
Christopher.
True Romance. He gets stabbed with a corkscrew in that movie. in the foot.
Whoa.
Log off
A lot
now.
of great
If you
actors
ever
in
want
that
to
film.
see Gary Oldman affect a Rastafarian accent, you got to check out. True Romance.
that scene, they did that scene in the first episode
Of Barry.
and I was like, "What?"
You
a
only
fucking
do
deep
movie
cut.
scenes, never any theater, which is very true.
You played the rat Templeton
Templeton, the
in
rat.
I Know This Much Is True.
This is true.
right?
I know that much is true.
Wait, you were both in?
I was in it.
We were
yeah.
both in I Know This Much Is True.
I had lines.
Wow.
I made up my own lines.
Fuck.
You did. I felt you got a raw deal. You had a whole shtick worked out and everything.
Oh, dude, but I went ham on Ruffalo on that.
Mike
It was
ad
great.
libbed his way into a friendship.
It's true.
I did.
Mike ad-libbed his way into showing your show to Mark Ruffalo. There's a photo of Mark Ruffalo enjoying the comedy songs of Sid and Mike.
We'll put it in the show notes.
You got it. You have to. He told me I was a good writer. That was a highlight for me. I called my mom and cried after that. Mark Ruffalo said.
We'll send him this episode.
So I was tasked with writing all the copy in the show that like. So if there's a scene in the show where young Mark Ruffalo and young Mark Ruffalo get a letter in the mail, and I had to write the letter. So any written piece, any written prop with writing on it, I wrote. So every newspaper, every letter, every like sign on the wall, I wrote it. And at one point, Derek said, "Hey, can you write this really heavy internal document about systemic sexual abuse in this institution?" Spoiler alert for a show that nobody watched, but is very good. You should check it out. But I wrote this. I was like, "Hey, Derek, do you want me to write the whole thing or like just like 1 or 2 pages and repeat them?" And he goes, you know The Shining? And I go, yeah, I know The Shining. And he goes, you know that they had a guy type out on a typewriter, all work and no play for everybody. You go like, yeah, Derek, someone lied to Stanley Kubrick. They lied to him. Like they did 8 of those pages and then they photocopied the rest of them because they get away with it. But he wanted me to write the whole thing. I wrote the whole thing. And we were shooting on the day, and it's the scene of him and Rob Hubel in the car. And Rob Hubel is like the only laugh we get in the show is from Rob Hubel. So they're goofing off because they want to, have a little levity because it's a heavy scene.
Future friend of the show, Rob Hubel.
Friend of the show, Rob Hubel, cool guy. And they're goofing off, and then Derek's like, "Read the fucking document," and they read it, and it ruins their day. You just see them get all serious, and it's like, I have the footage of Rob Hubel going, "Oh Jesus," reading my writing, which I'll take to my grave. And we shoot the scene. It takes like however long it takes, and at the end of it, I'm like opening a seltzer that's like exploding all over me. And Mark Ruffalo goes, "Hey, you wrote that, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Is that shit true about like putting bleach in your ears?" And that's like page 7. That's like in there. That's like deep in there. And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're a great writer, man. Like you helped make it real for me. Like you like helped me." And I was like, "Wow." And I like called my mom and I cried. I'm like, I'm good, Mom."
That's awesome. What a nice guy to make sure that he told you that too.
The nicest guy.
The nicest.
Not even like everyone's, "Oh yeah, they're nice." All actors are nice because they're insecure. But he's like the real deal. He's like the real.
He's the hook.
He gave me a ride to work one day. It wasn't even that far. He's like, "You want to
We
ride?"
can't forget
Yeah.
He's the hook.
the hook.
Dustin Hoffman. Speaking of plastics.
Let me make sure I didn't miss anything.
Whoa, he has an index card. I don't
at
even know
you.
how to handle myself. I've never seen this guy so prepared in my fucking life, you
Somebody
guys.
he really has respect for certain people.
Honestly.
No, this is a new thing, a new leaf I'm turning over. First off,
What advice do you have for aspiring screenwriters who are just starting out, maybe, or
Don't chase trends.
Joe?
Write your own thing, because I cannot tell you. I used to work in development, and I started working in development. My second month on the job, Get Out came out. And every other pitch was, it's like Get Out, but with Jews. It's like Get Out, but with queer people. And like, those are all terrible scripts, and they were all just Get Out, like, again, paste, group in here. No one was looking for chess shows before Queen's Gambit came out. And then Queen's Gambit came out, and now, your show, the Queen's Gammon, we want the backgammon script that you wrote. Like, you never know what's gonna be popular or catch on. You just never know. Like I wrote something for you. I wrote a movie about a guy who likes to eat dogs.
Just for Mike.
Just for
Perfect
Mike.
film for Mike.
He did.
Mike
Actually has-
requested
I've
2
watched
scripts
Mike
from
eat a
me
dog.
that I wrote for him. I wrote him 2 lead parts. Didn't say thank you. It's okay. No,
Oh.
I'm teasing. But I wrote a script for Mike about a guy who likes to eat dogs, and Mike politely declined
It's too real.
because it's too real.
It hits too close to home.
He wanted to make a film, not a documentary. But but then a few months.
eat dogs.
But a few months ago,
you don't come back or eat dogs.
Mike eats dogs.
a few months ago, someone came to me and says, "Hey, someone at our agency is looking to direct a film about food. Do you have anything?" And they said, "Hey, we think that your dog movie might really go over well." And it was down to the last 2.
Get
No
out
The
of
way.
here.
script that I had written for you
Did you tell him to
on a
get out?
whim.
Get out.
Get out, but
But with
So-
get out,
With
but with
dogs.
guys who eat dogs.
So
There we go.
it's don't chase trends.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important because this industry changes so fast all the time, and it's so hard to keep up. You cannot keep up. And I think also it's way more fun to be a leader, like something that I always remind myself, and also we've talked about, is that I think we're always looking for a blueprint. We're always looking for someone that has done it before.
Shout out Jay-Z.
And we have to remember that
Shout out Frank Lloyd Wright.
you guys, honestly, the amount of
Hey.
disrespect that I.
No, Sid, I'm here to listen.
Thank you.
I'm here to
God
shut up and
damn,
listen.
I'm dealing with these guys all the time, but honestly, you have to be the blueprint. You have to, and all these shows, we say it over and over every week. Like so many of the most popular shows, they got so many no's. They spent years pitching, and right now, like we are going through. Oh, like Sketch is such a hard sell, but you just like the Vietnam War movies, like Sketch is gonna come back around. Sketch is gonna have its time. Everything has its time. Everything comes back around, and you have to write what is true to you, and that is really important. I know that we have to wrap it up, but I have one more question. Is like, how do you feel about writing solo versus collaborating?
I've done it, and I think the unique thing about film is that, and I think fashion too, is that like unlike most other art forms, it's a collaborative medium, and I think that there's a time and place for that. If there's someone who you can write with who like gets you and makes you better, then like yes, you should. But I don't think as a rule. I don't know. I think it depends on the group or the person. I'm very good by myself. I've written some great things with other people, you guys included, but it's not my default setting. And what I do have is a group of friends, a small group of friends. You're in it. That I can send stuff to.
That's Mike. Mike's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mike.
He was
Sorry, I
Mike. He
looked-
did
I
not.
looked
He
at
did not
Mike.
gesture to all three of us. He just gestured to Mike. So.
Well, he won't feel special unless I exclude somebody.
Right.
So
It's true. Somebody's got to lose for the person to feel like a winner.
But I have trusted friends that I can send stuff to and go, hey, look, if this is bad, tell me. And they do. And that's very valuable. The people who say everything I do is great, I don't send stuff to because they're full of shit. As much as you might think of me, I write a lot of bad stuff. I write every day. Most of it's trash.
That's important for people to know because
only see the
Alex, you
stuff.
are so talented. So it's really important, I think, to just sometimes it is about quality over quantity. Sometimes you just have to churn it out to get to the gold.
Well, can I tell you a secret? No one knows how bad you are except for you.
Ooh.
You're the only person who sees that draft that no one else sees. You're the only one who knows that you didn't put any thought into that scene that everyone loves. You're the only person who knows how shitty you are. But by the time you send it to other people, chances are it's pretty good. But because you know what it was and how it got to where it is, you're like, yeah, but like it's not.
Right.
You fucking sold me, dude. I'm gonna eat those dogs. I'm gonna
Eat
eat those
those dogs,
puppies. I'm gonna
man.
eat
Let's
those
do it.
puppies.
I can't wait to see
He's
this.
never
Alex, where can people find you on
Don't.
for real.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a
No.
no. It's a no.
I am on Instagram at Petty Crocker. Petty_Crocker.
Petty__ Crocker. Is that
But
a joke?
also,
Is that,
No, it's
that's just a
no,
nickname.
that's
it's a
real.
pun. That is my Instagram.
And well,
I know.
remember to go check out Chronica, and then we have another short that sketch that you really wrote and came up with, and that might or not
A big
might
fan
not
favorite.
be out yet. And
People will get a chance to see it soon.
We're working on a worldwide release online
Digital.
of a digital release of our
Mr.
never before
Worldwide.
seen pilot
yes.
that Alex has a sketch in that is a huge fan favorite.
Well, it's great to have a writer on the show because we do a segment at the end of every show called Fake Pitches.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah. And our producer Sasha sometimes will prompt us with fake
Is
pitch.
he ready?
Is he ready? He's nodding. So let's go for it. It's time for fake pitches. 30 seconds on the clock.
This week, you will be getting your words from the one and only ChatGPT.
There we go.
AI has
Yeah.
entered the chat.
Okay, and because of the discussion we had earlier, I'm putting a "the" in front of the prompt.
Great.
Okay, and
awesome.
we're all doing different pitches.
Today we are going to build off of. We're going to build one pitch
Build a
as a
pitch.
team because Alex loves collaboration so much.
And also, I love being.
Can we
I'll
versus
I'll let you know.
ChatGPT on this?
Okay, yes, we can verses and we can have people write in and tell us who they like better.
And
Welcome
also,
to the special 2-hour
I'm-
special.
I didn't
of-
mean that. No, I didn't. Never mind. Never
I'm
mind.
the executive, so I will be telling us when we build a pitch. I'm always the executive saying whether we've bought the show or not, or
Right.
the movie, or the book, whatever you're pitching.
Except you zone out halfway through the pitch.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm not today.
Just like an executive.
Okay, that's maybe true.
The prompt is coming
We're
in.
ready. Here comes
coming
the
in
prompt.
hot.
Okay, your prompt is the Flamingo Avalanche.
The Flamingo Avalanche. Thank
The
you,
Flamingo
Thank you,
Avalanche.
ChatGPT, for that prompt. Guys, we're a team now. We're collaborating on The Flamingo Avalanche. It can be any kind of media. What is it?
So the Flamingo Avalanche is a feature film about a mountain deep in the Canada,
Deep
and
in The Canada. Ooh, we're already doing good.
and it has just recently been discovered on the top of this mountain is a snow cap and lots of snow. And what's so crazy is that there's this group of flamingos that actually lives up there. Go out.
Can I yes and this?
Yes.
They've been trapped in ice for decades, not centuries, decades. And they're thawed, right? Because global warming, it's topical. We got to make this
What
political.
decade did they get trapped in the ice?
This is the thing. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this. This is going to make you all feel really old. Not me, though. We are as far away from the 60s when Austin Powers was released as we are from Austin Powers now. So it's 90s flamingos.
No, you just saw a meme.
Ow.
But it's 90s flamingos, and the joke is that the plot is that they're not like they're on the line. They're not quite awful, but it's just like they say things, and you're like, yeah.
So all of the ships that have disappeared from the Bermuda Triangle actually have been transporting up to the Canada. Up to the Canada.
That's a Russian talking point. Yeah.
So this top, and that's also where the flamingos have been coming from. Was that anything that gets lost into the Bermuda Triangle appears at the top of this mountain in the Canada, and so that weight of these ships has started to weigh down the mountain, and all of a sudden one day, boom, it just starts going, and it starts with the ships first, but then the whole mountainside turns bright pink, and it's from the salmon.
Salmon. Enter salmon.
Enter our hero.
Enter our hero.
She's Ellie Sattler meets Tomb Raider Lara Croft, which isn't really a great combo. I mean, they're kind of the same, but Ellie Sattler's I would assume, a professor of paleontology, or she's the character Laura Dern.
That's a great combo, I would say.
Thank you. So
Laura Dern or Laura Linney?
Laura Dern. Now, Laura Dern is in the... I'm sorry.
Laura Dern as Laura Linney.
Laura Linney is playing the Ellie Sattler meets Tomb Raider role.
Got it.
She has cancer, and she...
Did I ever tell you? No, sorry.
She goes to the Canada with a research team, and they get caught up in one of these avalanches, and everybody dies but her.
Okay.
She befriends one of the flamingos that survives the avalanche, and it's got a salmon in its mouth, and the salmon can talk.
And it's voiced by Seth Rogen.
The salmon is voiced by Seth Rogen. The flamingo is voiced by
Rob Schneider.
And
Rob Schneider is a flamingo. Fuck you.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone, please don't sue us for doing... our guest did that, okay?
But you can't find them on the internet, so don't even bother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything...
I'm actually Amish. I don't know what this is.
Everything comes to a head when they meet
take your fucking picture in a second.
A young,
soul, man.
young indigenous boy who has the power of flight.
Indigenous to where?
That's
Canada.
That's a really important question that can't be answered in the summary.
For legal reasons.
For legal reasons, also, yes, it's just for legal reasons. We've decided what the answer to that question is, but we can't tell you.
Because, the implication.
See your fucking pants on.
The Flamingo
Y'all.
Avalanche.
That was sold. Honestly, it has been so great to have you here.
Thank you. It's been
Alex
great being
Hacker, talented writer, dear friend. We can't wait to have you back because there's more to talk about. So
Too much, some might say.
Too much.
Would you come back?
Yeah.
You would?
All right.
Yeah.
You want
We
to do
love
another one
that.
right now? We'll hit stop and we'll
Let's
just
do
roll
a
another one.
double. So cut.
So how about that
all right.
2024 election, guys?
You know what? Actually, yeah. No, let's just
Wild
start.
shit.
Let's just start again. Here we go.
Hey.
Gotta be quiet for the first part.
Hey! Happy 2024.
What's up, everybody?
What the fuckers,
I'm
What
Sid.
the fuck, Nicks?
I can't believe how long we've been doing this podcast for.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Comedy Filmmakers Motivation Monday, the podcast, is a production of Dark Matter Entertainment and Phantom Strain Pictures. Our producer is Sasha Nonas Barnes. Our theme song is by Joseph Colmanero. Find us online on YouTube or Instagram at Sid and Mike, or email us at sidandmikenyc@gmail.com.